Hello, hello. Hi, Cal. How you doing? How's it going? Oh yeah, I need. Oh, I don't know. I need this. I need this lady. I need this. I need this horrifying lady. I am in hell. This lady has put me in hell. No, I'm just kidding. I'm glad you made it home from work. Good luck with your trash. Me too. I am the trash. She's so cray cray. Hi, Gabriel. How you doing? Welcome in. Hydrate. I'm drinking coffee today. It's been a coffee kind of a week. Oh, we got a whole self-care combo. Everybody stretch. Sit up straight. Feeling has returned to my fingers. She's full of crack. Oh yeah, also... Hey, Bredicus, what's going on? How you doing? Let's see. We got an ooh-woo! I'm alright. I'm okay. Not really, but I'm doing my best. Oh, I guess I'll do this manually then. That's fine. Nope. Alright, I gotta get the fishnet. Is it in here? Not sets. Signage. Fishnet? Yeah, that's where it is. Hi, Gamby. How's it going? No, I shouldn't have closed that, but alas, that's okay. I'll open it back up later. Actually, I am a fool. Can I just... I'll just... very gently... gonna give her some fucking fishnets. Be gone! She's full of crazy. Okay. Hopefully this actual coloring portion of this will go really fast. And then we can get on to the next page. I don't know how long it will take me. I have to double check the stream or the comics like upload schedule, because I might need to make a hiatus announcement simply because there is like so much going on. My cat is like super asleep over in the corner, and he tried to get up to like stretch, and he almost fell off his little sushi pillow. He almost died. I'm doing okay. I'm very, very tired. Jace had a rough night last night. Just lots of nightmares and stuff, so that ain't great. But other than that, I'm doing okay. I've been busy as all get out trying to finish up the grading for this current semester for teaching that I do, and it sure as hell was a lot. I honestly deserve a medal. Hold on, let me blow my nose. Allergies got me today. I'm gonna die. Trees are trying to take me out. I'm not gonna make it. But yeah, I swear to God, for those of you who are not in on the drama of my teaching, I am a let me actually get. I'm gonna go ahead and get some blur lines here, some action lines. But I'm an undergraduate teacher, so I teach freshmen and sophomores typically at a college. But I teach animation classes specifically, so I teach concept art, script writing or screenwriting truly is what it's called for animation and games, world building, like that kind of stuff. But lots of freshmen though. Point being is it is indeed typically a lot of freshmen. So you never know with art school. You're never sure what the gambit of students is going to be. If they're going to be like the worst students or the best students you've ever had in your life. This semester was like the hardest semester I think I've ever taught. It was awful. People were really disrespectful to me, and I recognize that it's mostly because of like global unrest. Like, people just aren't doing super good here in the U.S. So, like, unfortunately, what that means is they take it out on me because they get stressed out about school, and then they take it out on me. So, I had students calling me out in public discussion posts telling me that I was a terrible teacher. I had students DMing other students telling them that I was a terrible teacher in private DMs that they didn't realize that I was, like, CC'd on. So, like, I could still see it. It was just really awkward. It was just like so awkward. I don't know. Point being, though, is a lot of students also didn't download Photoshop for whatever fucking reason. They decided that they didn't need Photoshop for a Photoshop class. Shit like that. So you never know. You never know how bad it's going to be. Long story short, at the end of the day, most of those students that were having those issues during class, I got to pass. I worked with them tirelessly until they fucking passed. And to keep in mind, too, I should also clarify, I, like, never get bad reviews as a teacher. Like, I have some of the best ratings as an adjunct in my department. Like, I get, like, 4.9 out of 5 stars across the board, right? So, these students are dramatically overreacting. And it was, like, dragging fucking 15 cactuses up a hill. But by God, I did it, and they passed. So, I deserve a raise. I know I won't get one. But in theory, if I was to ever get a raise, this would be what I would need it for. Holy shit. So I'm exhausted. Trying to get those kids' grades up was awful. It's mostly just like trying to get them to just turn shit in. As a student, you have to think Teacher X studentships are bogus, right? That, I feel like, is kind of a loaded question, because obviously any form of pedophilia where you have an adult trying to have a relationship with a child is fucking disgusting, first and foremost. So that's bad. But I do think that as somebody who is a teacher who teaches adults and has friends who used to be my former students, right? It happens very rarely, and most of the time it happens when, like one of the students that I'm the closest friends with, or former students that I'm close friends with, they are my age, right? So they went to school way late compared to a lot of the other students, and so there is no age gap between us. We're really close friends, and it's because we're into the same stuff. We're the same age. You know, like, so that's totally fine. I obviously don't have a romantic relationship with this person as I'm married. But the closer you are in age, I think the cooler it is totally fine. I've had close relationships with my teachers as I've gotten older. And I do think that it is acceptable if you are an adult and your student is, again, very close to you in age. They graduate your like college
and they are out of your classes, there's obviously no issue with that because they're done with the school, right? So like it depends on the answer to that is, can you be a responsible adult? It's the same thing for if people are dating coworkers or superiors in their workplace. That shit can just get fucking messy. So I feel like as an adult, as long as you're responsible and not doing anything weird, you're pretty much good. So I recognize that that's not a ship necessarily, but that's like adults can be adults. But yeah, I mean, if you're a fucking teacher and you're actively romantically pursuing a student that is your student, it's fucking gross, regardless of age gap or whatever. Especially if it's a fucking child, if it's an underage person, obviously that is fucking unacceptable. But yeah, it's up to the teacher to be a responsible adult, especially in my case because I am a young teacher. You know, I'm in my 30s. My other friend that's a student of mine or was a student of mine, and I likely will not have in classes again, is also in their 30s. You know, so there's certain things that are acceptable, but there are plenty of situations where that's just fucking unprofessional. Don't do it. I feel like the Japanese tropes for like teacher student ships are just kind of gross, but I also feel like Japan really pushes the envelope with a lot of those ship tropes. Like I think about like the older brother ooh like trope. That shit's fucking gross. Like it's bad. So there's a lot of ick around that, I think. But in real life, it's like just be an adult and be professional, which is why I don't teach high school, right? I only teach adults for that specific reason, because I want to be able to have a professional relationship with my students, and like kids can be kind of immature and I just don't want to fucking deal with them in general anyway. Like that's just the way that goes. College age students are a lot more responsible in my mind, so that's the major reason why I teach older kids or older students. I refer to them as children because I feel like a fucking dinosaur, but most of them are between the ages of like 18 and 20, and so I don't really have like relationships with them after they get out of school. Lava is the exception because Lava is also an old fart like myself. We are old crusty millennials. But yeah, anybody, the problem is I recognize in a fantasy setting, like in a romantasy setting, I think a lot of the reason that those ships happen is because of the power play between the older person and the younger person. You know, so that's where you get people who particularly, like, there's an entire romance subgenre trope called, like, boss romance or office romance, right? Where you have the young woman is typically, like, an intern or something in the company, and then, you have the older boss who's this, like, sexy, you know, older guy. Maybe he's not even, there might not even be an age gap, but it could be, like, you know, Silver Fox age kind of guy, and they're attracted to the age gap and the power play, but that to me is like the least, like, this is why I don't read modern romance nor write modern romance, because I think that shit's toxic as fuck, and you start to get into like 50 Shades of Grey territory where, like, yes, fantasizing about it is fine, but people's media literacy is so fucking low that all of a sudden they start to go, oh, but it would be okay to date my boss. And it's like, no, don't do that. Stop it. It's not fucking okay. Don't you do it. What are your thoughts on chivalry? Like, what do you mean? Like, the act of being a man? Like, are we talking about, like masculine ideas of chivalry? Or are we talking about, like the like, knight definition of chivalry? Because that's where that, like, came from. It's like the medieval moral code. So, because those are two different things. I recognize people use the term kind of interchangeably to describe, like, well, you're a man and you should be chivalrous, right? And they don't actually know what the definition of chivalry is, if that makes sense. Because there's the medieval definition and then, like, the modern courtesy definition. Because I think in either way, actually, I probably dislike both. Because I think that there's a modern interpretation of what it means to be chivalrous, because, like, if we're talking, like, you know, romanticizing knight characters, for example, Those guys are very honorable, honest. They're typically pretty loyal, and that I think is a romanticized idea of what chivalry actually was. Because old school medieval chivalry was like how you operated on a battlefield, what your loyalty to the government was, and how Christian you were. And so I think, unfortunately, romanticizing the idea of medieval chivalry often leads to what I would call toxic masculine neo-Christian traits, which I think is also toxic, personally. Hey, thank you so much for that raid, Ava. Welcome in. How you doing? Thank you for the raid. Thanks so much, Lure, for posting the shout out. Everybody should go follow Ava, though. Ava's a delight. How you doing? It would be okay to take my boss. Do not the boss. Don't do that shit. Yeah, so I think it really depends on that's an interesting and very nuanced question. I think it depends on how you define chivalry, because I think, of course, any person, regardless of gender identity, being an honorable, kind, good, loyal, honest person is always good. Obviously, we love that, but oftentimes I feel like, especially in romantasy as well, it's often used to justify characters being weirdly toxically masculine, and I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't think it makes a realistic person. It tends to make more of a trope than anything else. So I tend to avoid that in my writing, personally. Because I have plenty of knight characters. Like, I think Duncan from One Pale Reflection falls into that pretty well. He's a mercenary, truly, but he's kind of a knight. Like, most knights, medieval knights were mercenaries, so that's not necessarily anything crazy. But he is very loyal and very honest. And he's fine, but he's also not toxically masculine, and he's not religiously driven. Oh my god, be careful. Be careful, Ava. Don't let the food win. And that's what I'm saying, Gabriel, I guess, is that modern chivalry is based on a misinterpretation of medieval chivalry. Does that make sense? So, like, when I think of people in a modern context being, quote, chivalrous, I think of the guys with the fedora tipping their hat, being like, "Milady." You know, they have this idea of, quote, chivalry, what it is to be a man or an alpha wolf or someone who is, you know, desirable as a masculine person. They're not like other guys because they are, you know, they are the good guy. They are chivalrous. I think a good example of this character trait personified is Hal. Hal Jordan, I think is his last name, from Megamind, the villain, Titan. He's an incel. Like, so I think being, quote, chivalrous is often, again, utilized by certain communities to weaponize their good guy, quote, qualities and take it out on other people, particularly women. And I guess I've been on the receiving end of that shit so much. Like, I had to get a restraining order out against a guy in high school. Hal Stewart? Oh, yeah, Hal Stewart? Yeah, that guy. Hal Jordan's from Men in Black. Wrong guy. Yeah, Hal Stewart? I forgot. Yeah, I couldn't remember what his last name was. But yeah, Hal. He is that guy. But I had to get a restraining order out against a guy in high school because he was so incel-ass behavior that it was physically unsafe for me to be around him in high school. You know, so personally, as somebody who has had, I guess, a lot of negative experiences with that particular stuff, I tend to not fuck around with it. Like, if anybody ever approaches me and they're like, "Oh, I'm a chivalrous guy," like, I'm a good guy. Like, there are other ways of saying that you are a good guy without being like, "I'm chivalrous," you know. And I think that if you're gonna say that you're chivalrous, fucking mean it, I guess. Yeah, Buddy's another good example of that. I agree. Yeah, Buddy's kind of an incel as well. He's not great. Granted, he's got fucking trauma. At least he has better motives for being an incel, but, like, still an incel. Like, either way, it's not good. But yeah, I've had pretty negative experiences with people who claim those kinds of traits. And I've had plenty of experiences of people, I guess, who do embody what we would consider more noble traits, you know, more noble good characteristics, but they're not running around being like, I'm a chivalrous guy. You know, typically they're just good people, and their actions speak louder than their title, you know? Because definitely nothing wrong with being a good person. It's just the way that you frame it, I think, that determines whether or not you are actually a good person. Oh, interesting. I haven't watched Heathers. I'll have to take a look at it. But yeah, I mean, it's just toxic masculine dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got this kind of vibe. I think about that guy that's like the Hello Princess guy from TikTok. Like, that guy is his character acting is so good, but like, that's the guy. Hello Princess. Yeah, that guy specifically. And unfortunately, too, like, I think about even in my own personal life, yeah, White Knight. Yeah, that's a great way to describe them. Yeah, and there's a reason, right, why we use the word knight to describe these people, right? Is that they again have this very misconstrued idea of what it is to actually be a good person, you know? But like, I think about how I used to run this tabletop RPG show with my friends, and it was a really, like, we had a pretty successful like growth streak on Twitch. We actually got started around the same time that Legends of Evantris got started. So it's crazy, if we had been able to stick with it, you know, we might have been Legends of Evantris. It's really wild to think about. We had a pretty good run on Twitch while we were doing it, but we ended up having to stop doing it because one of our coworkers ended up having those toxic White Knight characteristics and SA'd my husband, actually. This was before we were together, you know, but like, I think about that, you know, and he thought he was the good guy in this situation, you know, and it's like, damn, you know, and then we had to kick him out of the fucking business. It was like insane, you know, like, and people thought I was crazy when I started up the business. We had like contracts for acting, you know, what people's job roles were and things like that. And if we had not had that contract in place, we would have not had the legal authority to effectively kick him out of the business. And it was really shitty. It was really shitty. So I've definitely known many of those people in my life. But I also know too much, I think, about art history to like really take any of those like knightly ideals or anything like that super seriously, because I recognize a lot of our ideas of like good guys, bad guys, knights, what it is to be honorable, all of that shit, or it all comes from like Victorian misinterpretations of knighthood and that kind of stuff. And those guys also were like wildly toxically masculine, so it's a toxic masculine bro fest. It ain't good. Yeah, knight mindsets fall into conflating things with ideas about getting the prize or the treasure. Yeah, totally, Bredicus. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and talking about all the characters that we've mentioned, whether it's Hal Stewart or Bobby, in Syndrome from The Incredibles, any of those guys, it's like, the Riddler is also from Batman, a great example of this this character archetype as well. It's like the never-ending search for the Holy Grail, right? It's like, if I just keep fucking pursuing the person, they'll eventually like me, right? And that's definitely what happened to me in high school, and that is definitely what happened to my husband with our like former friend. Is it was like, holy shit, you literally are relentless. Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh my god, you don't get a treasure for having basic decency. I need that on a sticker. Holy shit. It's like, congratulations, the bar was in hell and you met it. That's funny though. I didn't even think about the Riddler. Yeah, no, he's definitely that guy. There was a great series of like Batman spin-off comics called Joker's Asylum, or Tales from the Asylum, I think maybe was what it was. And they were all romance themed mini stories, and they went over the villains in the asylum, their romantic endeavors, and why Joker thought that they would never they're never going to be able to assimilate effectively in a normal society because they can't get people to love them, I think was the overall vibe. But the Riddler was particularly interesting as a social commentary, and I think it was really accurate because his entire story was about him falling in love. He saw this woman and he realized that he felt love for the first time, and he does everything that he can to try and pursue this woman. He becomes, quote, normal. He stops doing crime. He's really trying to turn himself around, and for a second the reader is like, oh, well, maybe he's actually making kind of like a change, right? He realized he was kind of a garbage person, and he's making this change for this person. And then at the end of the story, he gets the girl, he succeeds, and he's doing a bunch of weird underhanded shit in order to do that as well. So he's doing things like she's already dating another guy, and so he fucking kills the guy, to try and make it so that he's the only one that she could possibly want in this situation. There are no other options. He goes to the guy's funeral. He's the shoulder to cry on for this girl, right? He effectively, behind the scenes, is ruining her life in order to to solve this puzzle, right? It's the puzzle, because the Riddler's all about puzzles. The puzzle of how do I get this woman to love me, right? That's the game, is how do I do that? And once he gets done, once he gets the prize, once he has the woman, all of a sudden he goes, well, that was fun. I'm bored now, bye. See ya. And fucking just dumps her ass. Never sees her again. Right? And it's like, the Joker, of course, thinks that this is super funny, and that's the punchline, right? Is that he never cared about her in the first place, and the idea was the challenge, the fun of it was the actual game, using somebody else like a pawn. And of course, if we're talking psychology, it's a brilliant demonstration of narcissistic and Machiavellian character traits, right? And like the dark triad stuff. So I thought that was some of the best overall breakdown of Batman villains that I've ever seen, because how people react and interact in love is a really great way to tell somebody's character. The Penguin's was just really fucking sad. I feel like the Penguin is the only normal guy in the entire batch. He's trying his best. But I thought it was really interesting. Let me see if I can remember what... I think that was, let's see, Joker's Asylum Comics. I have all of them in floppies. Yeah, Joker's Asylum. That was what they were called. You can get the whole collection. This is the whole collection here from Barnes & Noble. But it's just Batman Joker's Asylum is the series. It combines all of them. But I thought that they were particularly good. Yeah, really good shit. I loved the writing for this. I've never read Joker's Asylum 2 though. I'll have to check those out as well. The Two-Face one was also particularly sad, but it was great. It comes from, what was the publishing date on this one? It was a while ago. Oh yeah, the Mad Hatter one was super sad too. Oh my god, fucking Killer Croc was heartbreaking as well. I guess I have read all of these, actually. It was 2022 was the publication date for this this trade paperback. So that's cool. Everybody should also hydrate too. I hate to give the most intensely psychological answers to these questions. Sorry, guys. I think too hard about shit. But yeah, my favorite part about that lore drop, about me and that guy that I had to take a restraining order out against, my favorite part about that is that the dude that was enforcing that rule was our dean. His name was Dr. Bram. And Dr. Bram, fucking was, he had a broken leg at the time, and so legit, he would just threateningly wheelie after the student if the guy came down. He was told that he was not allowed to walk down the same hallway as me. You know, like, it was some pretty severe shit, and anytime that kid would come my direction, Dr. Bram would just threateningly wheelie in his direction. Dr. Bram was a fucking unit. He was on like one of those like rolly crutches. He was so fucking fast. He had the need for speed. That guy ended up dropping out after that year, actually, or changing schools, I think. But yeah, don't send threatening, incel-y ass emails to people, guys. That's the lesson there. Don't do that shit. Don't be doing it. Oh, we got Chatty. No more ooh-woo. Do not do the incel, right? Yeah, I recognize for a lot of people, I think it's just kind of a gross misinterpretation of what it is to be an honorable man. You know, like in the U.S., we do not teach our kids, and this is, I can only really speak from an American perspective because that's where I am from, you know, but like, we do not fucking teach our kids. Like, I think it's getting better now, but for a long time, especially when I was a kid, we didn't really teach young men, like, what it is to be a good person, you know. Oh yeah, ear, nose, throat. Oh, I have a deviated septum. Honestly, that's surprisingly common. My friend also had a deviated septum, and they had to get surgery as well. I hope that helps you breathe. It helped them a lot. All of a sudden, they were like, holy shit, this is what real breathing is like? Crazy. Oh, not that. Oh, I also need to delete. Let's go ahead and erase this. That's not good. Can't fix the crookedness in my nose since that part is cosmetic. Yeah, I hate that that's like a thing where it's like they if it's like plastic surgery based, they just won't do it. I was very lucky that a lot of the plastic surgery procedures that I got, like, they can say that it's a gender dysphoria effectively, so they're like, this is because you're trans, so thereby you get free surgery. And I'm like, oh, thank you. This is the only benefit that I have in this society. Free plastic surgery. Crazy. And it's only for certain stuff, though, I should clarify. But I hope that the surgery goes well, and I hope that it does help. Because that can be, it can make it really hard to breathe. Ain't great. I want to listen to Beanie. Hold on. We're going to listen to the girl band from the Philippines. The F-pop band. P-pop? Question mark? They don't have F's in Tagalog, by the way. So anytime my mom-in-law says the Philippines, she says the Philippines, and it's really cute. Oh, dang, yeah, it's going to the side, nearly touching my nose. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Bodies are weird. Genetics are weird. I love how some bodies are just like, bro, I don't know how to grow this, and they just, like, make weird shit. It's like, why? Why would you do this to me? Oh, nice. How it's made is cool. I like learning that kind of stuff. They figured out bees can do math, by the way, speaking of cool, cool science shit that happened lately. Like, they understand the concept of numbers. And they understand the concept of zero, which is absolutely bananas. I love that for bees. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I love, like, watching documentaries about animation. Max Fleischer had some of the coolest animation techniques ever. He's a great animator to check out, like, if you want to look at really interesting, I guess, like, background techniques specifically. He had, like, crazy machines that he built to do animation. I'm gonna do a big, like, impact line here, and then some impact lines over there. I'm gonna go ahead and just... Yeah, I learned about this thing recently that was, like, a massive, what was that thing? Let's see, Fleischer animation, background machine. It's called a stereoptical machine. I don't think any, like, Disney ended up adapting it later, but this shit is insane. This is insane. So this is the stereoptical machine that he had. Why is this over in the corner? How dare you? But effectively, this is how this would work. He would have a rotary piece here. So you have your camera, you have your cell, which is where the actual animated figure is, and then you have all of these background pieces built in 3D effectively that gives the illusion of depth. And then this is the backdrop, and then this is on a roller, so you can roll the background back and forth, or like move certain pieces around, and it is fucking nuts. Hitler's animation studio tried to replicate that by like wiggling a piece of paper in a background, and it was not good. But Fleischer was fucking doing some crazy shit. Modern stereoptical like technology is used in stop mo today. This is the most Filipino music I've ever heard in my life. It's like there's so much romance in like Filipino media. It's so cute. This is the most Filipino shit. I love it. I'm glad that they like got popular, because I've been waiting for like Filipino media to get more traction internationally. I have a comic recommendation. What is your recommendation? I have too many of those. I need to chill out. I don't read comics as much as I used to, though. Magical Boy. No, I have not. I have not heard of that one. I love it when he just kicks the shit out of this thing. I wonder if Jace's mom has heard of this band. If she knows about it. Get some Wawa. Don't be crispy. Don't be nasty. I'm actually... She's like, oh. Actually, I don't like this particular impact. I wonder if I can go like that instead. Well, I think I need a more specific impact point is the problem. So we're going to go like this. There we go. That's better. That's better.
let's go get the other brush. Yay, Philippines.
Oh my god, they added this fucking song back in. Yay, he lost the rights to this song in the US for a little bit. Oh my god. Yes, I haven't listened to this song in a minute. Oh, I'm so happy. We're gonna listen to this song and then I'm gonna go on an adventure to listen to Dada. Does she have her albums on? Oh my god. Oh, she does, but it's all in Russian. Never mind. I'll maybe go on her journey later. I'm going to add this. Oh my god, yes. I was so sad about this song. It's a story about a trans guy learning he comes from a line of magical girls. That's so cute, though. Reminds me, City of Mist, not City of Mist, Fate Core, the tabletop RPG system, added an entire, like, rule set and module. It's called, something by Daylight. Or no, what is it? Let's see, Magical Girl, hold on. Girl by Moonlight. That's what it's called. Girl by Moonlight. It's by Evil Hat Productions. And you can play a magical boy in Girl by Moonlight. They don't discriminate by gender. You can be fabulous no matter what. And they have, like, different, like, magical girl archetypes, whether it's, like, the, like, Sailor Moon archetype, or, like, you can have, like, a tuxedo mask archetype. That can be any gender. It's just really fun. Oh my god. I love this stupid song. I'm so glad that he got the rights back. This is like the best Chinese hardstyle I've ever heard in my life. I'm just gonna go ahead and... There we go. Pretty. Welcome back. You have many a wooter. So much wooter. No. This is not what I want. Where's my dots? It's like this one. Yeah, what is this one called? Spec. Hello? Oh, it's too small. 2, 9. Welcome to the riot. Sorry, you guys are going to be getting a lot of Bangarang. Or Bangaranga, I guess is the name of this song. You're gonna get so much Bangaranga.
Oh yeah, I have like a Paloma, like a alcohol-free Paloma in the fridge that I'll probably have later. I was just very impressed. What's crazy about it is it has tequila extract in it. So it tastes like alcohol, but is not alcohol. Pretty cray-cray. The science is getting too sophisticated. Alcohol-free beer is actually low-key nasty. As somebody who has had that, gross. I think they're getting better at it, but the alcohol-free tequila was pretty impressive to me. That I had last night. That was wild. You know that moment when you get hit in the chest so hard you just instantly cough up blood? It's quality. Yeah, it tastes like asshole. Yeah, I can 100%, as somebody who has had zero proof beer, holy god, it's bad. I think the way that they got around it in this Paloma is that they have like effectively tequila extract, so they take the liquor and they make it an extract just like they would any other extract, like vanilla extract or things like that, and so that ends up making it taste way less garbage. Nice. Well, this is fun. Yeah, I love beer, but I have to have a good beer. That's like a huge like asterisk for me, is that Mexican lagers are actually my favorite, but I'm really spoiled that we live around a lot of like Latino people where I am. A lot of really great Mexican brewers here. So I can get Mexican lagers that are just like the best of all time. Like I never go for a Corona, I'll always go for something local. But that's truly my favorite beer is rice beer, actually, hands down. I will go for like an Asahi or, yeah, Asahi specifically. Then other Asian style beers, so like Tsingtao or Sapporo is fine, but Asahi's better in my opinion. And then under that is Mexican lagers. And then under that is like red ale. Yeah, red ale specifically. And then at the very fucking bottom is like IPAs. Like I will never ever ever willingly choose an IPA. I'll take a stout even. And even stouts I'm like, I don't know. It tastes kind of like poopy butthole. Some stouts can be really bitter. But dessert stouts are good. Okay, this panel looks fucking phenomenal from a distance. Oh my god. Oh, I guess because there's no dialogue, actually, the way that I do this, watch this, I don't even have to do this. I don't have to move panels around, so we're gonna go image size. Well, first we're gonna actually just save this out. Yeah, I'm also a fan of sweet cocktails as well. Yeah, the Paloma for me is a good happy medium. Because it does have like the kind of bitterness of the grapefruit, and I really like it. I tend to stay away from like savory cocktails like Bloody Marys. I just fucking hate tomatoes, so like as soon as the tomato gets too close to me, I'm like, I don't like that. Yeah, alcohol, unfortunately for me, is one of the only reliable ways to get my ADHD brain to shut the fuck up. But alcoholism bad, so we don't do that. We don't do that here. But I understand how a lot of people with ADHD do end up down the alcoholism butthole, because it really, as like a treatment for getting your brain just slow the fuck down, it does work very effectively. But I drink really recreationally. Greek wine is actually one of my newer favorite like alcohols to drink, especially Greek dessert wine. But I go for like
Like, I think maybe the common trend of all the alcohol that I like is it's super low alcohol per volume because being drunk makes me anxious. And so I'm doing shit like that's like literally 5% alcohol per volume or less because it's like, I ain't doing it. Hi, Chips. How you doing? Icky grape is... Bleh. Oh my god. Grubhub's like, would you like to order katsu ramen? I mean, kinda. Although I've been really getting lucky with a lot of restaurants. This week is Mile High Asian Food Week, so it's a celebration of AAPI restaurants from all over the diaspora. So all sorts of people are doing discounts and shit. We went to Kokoro, which is like one of the oldest Japanese restaurants that we have here in Denver, and they gave me a free entree. Like, they didn't even have to. That wasn't even part of the deal. It was just like they were just fucking nice, and they gave me a free entree. So I thought that was really nice. I don't think I've ever had Moxie soda. But you're right, though. Sometimes, especially if it's like cherry flavored or something, that shit gets nasty. That get gross. Ooh, but I do like cream soda, though. Cream soda is amazing. I do enjoy. My favorite... Yeah, actually, I'd have to say that cream soda is probably my favorite out of all the sodas. I really do like that flavor a lot. But actually, you know what? I'm a bitch for Baja Blast. That's the most American shit about me, I think, is actually I literally will go feral for a Baja Blast. Oh yeah, Birch Soda is good, though. I do like that, too. Oh yeah, dealing with stuff to get work set up. You got this. I believe in you. Okay, so now we're going to go back into planning hell. Sorry, guys. Look at how many pages this chapter has. I think this was really where I started to standardize the 32-page chapter. So, I recognize I have created a prison of my own design. Oh, but this one's only 4. I feel like this action sequence, I was actually kind of kind to myself. Okay, so now I have to figure out who is the next guy to go and do this hit. Who is the fastest? Who who is the fastest to get the shit kicked out of him? I can't. Okay, let me figure out. Let me open my set here really quick. I gotta look at all of these guys. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Oh, Rutro, right? Yeah, me and Taco Bell, we got a special relationship. Especially since they redid their menu and now their stuff doesn't taste like booty hole. I feel like, yeah, Taco Bell really did the most. They did not have to do that, but they did it for us. They actually use like real meat and stuff now. Like it's you know, it's not like it was in the early 2000s where they were like it was like all filler. So good job, Taco Bell. Keep it the fuck up. I love and appreciate you. Oh my god, we just listened to this song. They were like, would you like more Bangaranga? I'm like, you know, maybe. Maybe I will. You don't know me. I might. Okay, I got lots of creepy crawling. This one's good. Oh, but is this the arm? Why would you do this to me? Hold on, I gotta throw this lady on the ground so that she's like dying, you know? Very important. Put her on the ground. Let me figure out where the other guy is, because I don't want to put them all in the same spot. I need to, like, yeet her across the room. Be free! Okay. And actually, let me look at the script here. There are a bunch of novelty sodas, though. You're right, though. You're right. I haven't had too many of those. I think the last one that I had was, like, pickle. Or, like, actually, it might have been a hot wing one, now that I'm thinking about it. It was not... It weren't great. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I mean, it was soda. That's for sure. It was a thing. There was indeed flavor. Okay, what am I have another reference here. And I'm like, what am I looking at? Oh, why would you do that to me? Okay, let me go look at my reference and figure out what I'm supposed to be doing here. What am I doing? Oh my god, Jake Mace. I get it. But I think, actually, I don't need this necessarily. Oh, is this? Oh, it's a straight kick. It's a straight one, not like a side kick. Okay, good to know. I'm like, what is the vision? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna have one of these. Sure. And then I'm trying to think about, I'm actually gonna do like a little, yeah, maybe like this. Sure. I don't know. Anything's possible. Whee! Because I think the guy's gonna go this way. And then we're gonna have the kick up this direction. Oh, and then we have... Wukong finally gets hit in this fight. Look at that. It only took 3 pages for them to actually get him. And then I'm going to actually do a panel, I think, on top. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Is a pina colada? Oh, yeah, I've had pineapple soda before. Jarritos makes an amazing pineapple. All right. Let me figure out who's the guy. It's not Tiger. I think it's gonna be the Bear Demon. He seems like he's a strapping and fast young man. Well, actually, no, we're gonna go with this Ox Demon. This guy's a big dude. Okay, here we go. Sure. Oh god, this guy. What's nuts is that this guy is not even the largest demon either. Like, this guy is kind of small comparatively, which is insane to think about. Let me move him down a little bit. Okay, we got it. We only got a couple panels to do. Actually, wait a second. Actually, I'm gonna move this guy. 1 second. I know what I'm doing. Oh, I actually kind of like this. Holy shit, this guy's huge. Nah. I need to twist this head. And this body, too. It needs to have more of a nonchalant. This is, like, kind of stiff. You know that moment when you're, like, a little too stiff? That was what just happened to me just now. Actually, maybe I'll twist his face the other direction. Hold on, I'm figuring it out, y'all. Oh, but that doesn't look supernatural with the movement. Never mind. I'm full of lies. Yeah, this is alright. Sure. Okay, sure. This is an interesting shot, but I'll take it. I don't know what's going on. I gotta go censor the Jeff Bezos booty. Part of me wants to have some dialogue, but I don't think... Here, this actually just doesn't even have to be censored. I don't think that there would be a lot of, like, talking going on, because this is all going so fast. That, like, I just don't see it happening. Alright, this is where this guy also gets the ever-flying shit kicked out of him. To actually flip this. Oh my god, this guy is literally fucking flying. Holy shit. Alright. Oh yeah, this works. This works. Oh, this is what a shot. Let me rotate him a little bit. This is going to be another one of those ones where I do like a silhouette blackout, I think. What a shot. Alright, this one I do have to censor. Let me drag this over here. He's got stinky booty. They both got stinky booty. But not really anything else. It's mostly just booty crack. Mr. Bubs, what are you doing? Are you sleeping? You're not sleeping in the yarn box? Oh, you want to come over here and say hi? I got your attention because I said your name, and now you wanna come say hi? What are you punching? Do you need more lunchy num-nums? Is that what's happening? I'm actually gonna, like, I think hit this way like that. Yeah, that'll be fun. I might need to get up and feed my cat because otherwise, he'll kill me. Let me, sir, Mr. Man, can I finish? Can I finish this, or are you gonna just be angry and you're not gonna let me, You're not gonna let me do that. Is that what's gonna happen here? I don't think he'll do it. I love how Sean was so convinced that he was just going to get his ass kicked really bad. How does it feel now, Sean? How does it feel now? All these guys are literally going to be in a pile. Actually, I'm pretty sure this dude... yeah, there's so many unconscious dudes on the floor. All right, now we got Bear Demon. He running. Do I have like a low sweeping move? We're gonna figure it out. Okay. This guy's just straight up kicking Wukong directly in the chin. In the thigh? Question mark? I'm gonna actually do this shot from this other angle. Oh my god, I'm in the wall. Guys, I'm in the wall! Am I gonna have to turn off the building? Where's the building? My camera angle did not work. I'm gonna actually rotate this. Oh no, Tatsu, why are you so angry? Why are you so angered? Why you do this? He's so angered. He's so mad. We gotta stretch, we gotta self-care combo, we gotta posture check. Everything. I was kind of shrimping. That was probably for the best. Okay. I have to rotate Wukong because he's in a weird spot. I don't want to accidentally have like a what we call in the industry an accidental wean. Oh, but I need contact. Actually. I might... I'm gonna actually move him. I think we're all right. I think we are gonna get him bonked. He's been bonked. Flashing by run. Most of these are from the back, so like I don't even have to worry about. I don't have to worry about the censoring other than a booty cheek, you know. But even in this case, actually, I don't think I'm gonna need it. Yeah, that's fine. I need like more Chinese onomatopoeia, I think. Oh, thanks for banning that guy. I appreciate you. Why is it always Russian bots? I have so many questions. Alright, let me turn this off. One more, and then we can... We can... actually start... Now this is lame. Hold on, there's gotta be a better one. This is too dramatic. It's too much. There we go, that's better. Oh, that's an INB, we don't want that. Okay, let me rotate. No, not that way. Fall down. You ever just whack, rotate your model and you're like, wipe out. Hit the ground. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have this guy. In another position. That's okay. This does not impact him very well. Well, this is getting, he's kind of straddling. This guy's kind of straddling a little bit. That's all I gotta say. He's kind of doing it, you know. Alright, this goes, I think, underneath everything else. Okay, hold on, let me get his nippity noppities, because otherwise we're gonna have a problem. His little grundle, I guess. He's got a little grundle. Alright, let me go feed this cat before he decides to perpetuate violence. I will be right back, and I'm gonna give him some stackies, BRB. Mr. Man's a grody boy. He's nasty. Taste for blood. Alright. Alright. He truly is a creature. That is a very accurate. He's alright. He's only just a little stinky. I love his long hair in this sequence, actually. This is a really fun thing to move. Tachu's creature maxing. I mean, he kind of is. He's pug maxing. He's confused. He doesn't know what he is. He's like, it's not my fault I have sinus problems. I did not ask for this fate. Y'all pulled all my teeth out and took my eyeball out, and now it's weird. I recognize that this is a Lunar New Year song, but it's fucking cool. The song is so punny. It's about Jackie Chan and about dragons. Fucking badass. Okay, everybody is messaging the fuck out of me. I'm busy! Oh! You know what I realized? Oh my god, I'm so dumb. I'm glad that this is an easy fix. I don't know why I didn't catch this. Wow, you can tell I'm sleepy because... Need to resave this now. Crazy. That ain't how that works. I'm a fool. Phew! Why? Oh, whoops, that was a bad idea. There we go, better. Oh my god, let me save. Oh, the allergies got me today, y'all. I'm so crusty. Oh, I'm so crusty. No. Really fuck it up. Alright, we're okay. We figured it out.
You know, the moment when you realize, I didn't do the tiger print, and then you have to freak out and then, like, go and do it again. That's what happened to me just now. Yeah, because some of these shots are really not that bad. I'm just hoping that they continue to not be, like, the combat sequences continue to not be a big pain in the ass, because that would be actually kind of great. It would be very cool if I could just be chill for 5 seconds, you know what I mean? I saw this other artist making an announcement that they were going to be at a con, and they were like, trying to go to the con, and then it was like me remembering I have a webcomic to work on, and it was like them getting crushed by a fucking anvil. And I was like, you know, you're right. But speaking of that, I don't think anybody that's in stream right now anyway is in my area. But if you're watching the VOD and you're in the Colorado area, don't forget that I am indeed going to GameCon, which is a con event especially for high school kids. I'm going to be at that this weekend for one day only in Fountain, Colorado. So come say hello. Come say hello. Speaking of Hal Stewart, Megamind is like one of my favorite movies actually ever. So good. I need this thing. I don't remember what this guy looks like. He's about to get the shit kicked out of him, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I have not drawn him from the back, so we're gonna learn what this guy looks like from the back. He's just a guy. But he's got these little horn things. We're gonna go like that. How does it feel to be a guy? Oh yeah, it's it critically from like an actual execution standpoint is an insanely good movie. Also, it's got some of the best color scripts I've ever seen for a film. It's really good. There are some character design decisions that I don't like. Like, I don't like the way Roxanne Ritchie looks. Like, I think all of the other characters look great, and Roxanne's just a little fucking weird. I don't know what I would do to fix it, necessarily. I'd have to, like, do some, like, artwork to try and figure out, like, what it is about her that bothers me. And I think it is actually the size of her face, now that I think about it. Yeah, it is. It's the proportions of her face. So, if we take Roxanne Ritchie, I'm gonna actually grab... Well, let me see if I can get a bigger... Oh yeah, I forgot that she's a villain for 5 fucking seconds in the show. Weird shit. So, this is her with her hair fucked up. Actually, this is a better image. Well, let me try and find the most ideal Roxanne Ritchie image to Photoshop real fucking quick. She looks fine from some angles, and then from others, she's fucking horrifying. And then the TV show fucked up her proportions worse. Holy shit. Okay, I guess we're gonna go with this one. I'm gonna grab this. I actually think it's the opposite that's the problem. I think that her face is not big enough for her head, believe it or not. Okay, why would you do that? Why would you put that over there? Thank you. So, if we take Roxanne, I recognize it's a low-res image here, but I think one of the major problems that I have is actually this. Believe it or not, this is the issue for me. I'm not even shitting you. This will likely just fix the problem. Her proportions are fucked up. And I don't like it. It is what it is.
but you can kind of keep the facial proportions exactly the same. Let me put her... I might move her mouth in a little bit too. So we gotta work this one step at a time in order to make sure. But this fixed her eyes. So we're already getting there. Let me put this back in. Is this gonna be the best Photoshop job of my whole life? No. So now our lips are horrifying. Right? So now we're gonna take this one step at a time. One step at a time. But the forehead is now, we're in a good spot. Okay, and then we're gonna take this. She also has no lip, but that's okay, because I feel like that's a good character quirk. That's fine. I'm not really worried about that. Let me put this above here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so she still looks like a unique individual. She looks like she's not like got like what I would call the perfect Disney princess face, because I don't like that. I'm not a fan of, like, the Disney, like, hyper-stylization, because I think that that's gross and they don't look like real people. But in this particular instance, we now have, God, this, hold on, this cheek got lost here. We're okay. As I'm, like, doing a digital paint over. Like, okay! Okay? Like, are we seeing what I'm saying here? Are we seeing the vision? Because I think she was just actually low-key kind of terrifying. I don't know, man. So like if it was me, so if we go back to normal Roxanne. This is OG Roxanne. Wait. Oh, damn. I don't have the hold on, let me paste her back in. Let me go grab her real quick. And, like, part of this is my own, like, okay, regular Roxanne, Photoshopped Roxanne. And is it, like, could I spend more time actually, like, painting this out so she's not horrifying looking? Yes. But, like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Her forehead's just fucking huge. Her forehead's fucking massive. So, yeah, I don't know. What type of brush is this? This is the Gouache Wet brush by Kyle Webster specifically. So it's a gouache style, watercolor style brush. It's like my default painting brush, actually. I really like this brush. Yeah, fuck, man. Okay, so I could probably... That's my one problem with Megamind. The only problem. Yeah, see, and I would leave her head kind of big. Everybody in the movie's got kind of a big head, so that doesn't bother me as much. But yeah, she's got the forehead of all fucking foreheads, truly. It's just a little thing. And it's tricky because they were trying to make caricatures of the actors that were playing them. You know? So, like, to some extent, I don't remember which actress was the one who played her in the film. Who was it? I think it's Tina. Yeah, it's Tina Fey. So, Tina Fey does have a large-ass fucking forehead. And this is not a slight on Tina Fey. But, like, if you actually look at this person... DreamWorks at the time, like, was huge into caricatures, just overall, like, her forehead is enormous. So I think that when they did the caricature, they were like, okay, well, what stands out the most about Tina Fey? She's got a very small upper lip and a Mondo forehead. And so we're going to caricature that when we do Megamind, we're going to caricature that. And that's fine, but I think the whole point of Megamind is to accentuate the fact that Megamind is strange. He's like an alien with a large-ass forehead. So giving somebody else a really big forehead competes kind of with his character design, I think, in my opinion. And it's very rare that I look at super good movies and I'm like, man, I wish I could tweak this, but that's definitely one of those ones where I would probably go back and revise that as, like, the art director, I think. It weakens the story overall. Like, Megamind's literal supervillain name is Megamind. You know, he's got a big-ass fucking head. That's the whole point. I don't know. That would be how I would tweak it. Other than that, though, the movie's like a 10 out of 10, like, actual perfect movie, in my opinion. The pacing is great. The writing is great. Fuck off, forehead Megamind. I can't. I love his forehead. I love his stupid big head. I love how Automod was like, that's really mean to Megamind, guys. that's really mean.
Why are you guys being so mean to him? I don't even know what's going on here. Oh, that's the wrist. Does he have any jewelry? No, he doesn't. That's fine. That's his arm. He'll be okay. I don't know what's going on. I love how this guy's the biggest dude on the field, and he just gets... It's one hit. One hit, and this guy's down. That's crazy shit. Wukong's overpowered, guys. He's OP. He's a Mary Sue. It's okay. Eventually he gets shot, and it becomes pretty evident that things are not good for him. It'll get there. Alright, everybody drink liquids. Cal redeem to hydrate. Make sure you're lubricated. No, the weight stays the same. Canonically, as far as I understand. So it's like several thousand pounds. I think that it's a little bit of an exaggeration, but if I remember right, the Ruyi Jingu Bong is like 36,000 pounds. It is... Oh, sorry, 17,000 pounds. It weighs about 8.7 tons, approximately. I don't know what the original weight was. Apparently the original weight was 13,000 caddies, which I'm not really sure what the caddy weight is. Like... Oh, it's jin. 13,000 jin. So it's a traditional Chinese unit of weight. One jin is 500 grams, or approximately 1 pound. So 13,500 jin. So he's, as far as I'm aware, the only one who can physically lift it. It used to be the pillar that holds up the entire Milky Way, and then he fucking, he removed it and then exploded the Milky Way. So that ain't good. Don't do that. Don't be a little nugget. Yeah, drink them liquids. Look at you, Chips, drinking a liter of water. That's fucking... You're so OP. I'm over here on my, like, 1 cup of coffee in dry-ass Colorado. I'm like, I'm fine! This song has such good vibes. So if he dropped the staff, it would cause the ground to shake. Yes, definitely. Yeah, it was enough to explode space. But he can also make it as big as he wants. So all of a sudden he could really go Godzilla mode and like crush entire cities with it if he wanted to. You're gonna have to pay for that. Yeah, the sheer amount of damage, public damage that Wukong does in this comic is actually kind of insane. They do talk about that at some point on the news. It's like, this guy keeps fucking the town up and we need him to stop. Wukong's like, never! It's not my fault you guys have shit infrastructure. Build better buildings. Okay, sure. Why would you do this? Yeah, people see him and they get physically upset. They're like, bro, we need you to stop. We just need you to chill out. I'm gonna actually move Wukong just a hair this direction. Make sure he's still in frame. Yeah, we're good. Because I want it to be clear that he's like really missing. He's not making any progress here. It was a nice try, but... And then we have... This is going to be... What is this layer? Oh. It's this panel. I was like, where are we? I found it. I'm gonna just turn this off for a second so I can see. Y'all, I don't wanna finish grading stuff. I have like one more assignment to grade before the end of this semester. And then I'm free for a couple days, and then I have to like make more videos for this class. And then they locked me out of my video making software that I can use to share with students. And TechBar won't let me back in. So they like handicapped my ability to be able to like grade students. So now I have to upload them on YouTube like some plebeian. I want to go back to this Taiwanese hot pot place. It's like all you can eat. I wanna go back. It was so good. I'm gonna go back. It was really tasty. I wish to return and get more food. Y'all, I've been working on so much art off stream because I haven't been on social media. And I'm gonna have the mass upload of all mass uploads after this week. Hey, we got a tarot reading for a single card. Let's do it. We got the Hermit reversed. So big life change stuff. It could have to do with more so your situation. But make sure to spend time with people you love. There might be a lot of like loose ends that are going on that you haven't, or like people you haven't thought about in a while that you'd like to go and chat with or hang out with. But yeah, it seems like you need a kind of a break, so be sure to take it easy. It's okay to like totally take a step back and be like, nah, I'm not. You know, people ask you out. It's like, I'm not going out. I'm gonna stay in tonight. Be sure to take breaks, because breaks are good for you. Oh, dang. Dang. Well, it sounds like that guy got his comeuppance, kind of. That's crazy. That was next to me. That's adjacent to where I am. That's close. Oh, Broomfield. Yeah. There's a bunch of shit that happens in Broomfield. That's all I gotta say. The Broomfield police, too, are kind of, like, fucking awful, actually. Not gonna lie. But that's like most police in Colorado, to be honest. actually, I dislike. Broomfield's gross. Hi, Beads a Lover. Oh, you love that OC. Well, feel free to share the OC if you want. I would love to see what you're working on, if you feel so inclined. But also, that is very fun. I love it when an OC grips you like that. That can be great. I really wanted to focus in on the impact of this strike. Oh, whoops, I should probably finish some shit before I do that, huh? I love how it got Heeb. Wait a second, is Heeb a bad word? Wait a second. Hold on. Why did it auto-mod that? Oh no, it's an accidental slur, guys. I didn't know that. That might be something to consider, Pizza Lover. No! Okay, well, I do apologize that I said that aloud on stream. I would refrain from using that term again. It's a shortened abbreviation of the word Hebrew. Yeah, if the name is one full word, then that's different. But if it's two separate words, be careful with that, because it is indeed a slur. I'm not mad at you about it. I didn't know either. I've never heard anybody use that term in my life, but definitely be careful. It might be one of those ones where it's like older and it hasn't been. Well, I don't know. Actually, there was a magazine that was. It's from the 80s and the 90s, early 2000s. They had a context shift to where they started to use it more as like self-reference. So, like, I would argue it's an American Jewish website, for example. So, Jewish people probably are chill to say it. If you are Jewish, you're cool. I mean, obviously, like, I can't police anybody's language, but if you're not Jewish, I would recommend against using it. Wild. We learned a new thing today. That's fun. Gerudo are cool, though. I haven't played, like, a lot of Legend of Zelda. Chicken in the Woods mushrooms are fucking fantastic, though. Also, apparently they're delicious. Oh, from the word hibachi. Gotcha. Yeah, I hate it when accidental shit happens like that. That's literally the worst. But Chicken of the Woods is amazing, and I love the hibachi influence as well. I think that's pretty cool. I'm a huge fan of food in general, though, so, like, anything food-themed is me. I can see the play on words happening, though. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the last time that I did something like that. It happens sometimes, though. Most of the time, I'll find it in other people's work, and it's like, oh shit, you didn't know. But there was a lot of that, I think, in the 70s and 80s in this country, where, like, my dad does it all the time, where he'll be like, oh fuck, I didn't realize that was a bad word. It's like, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. Because the vernacular was, like, really different in the 70s and the 80s. Like, a lot of people said shit that they probably shouldn't have said, but then everybody just kind of, like, culturally accepted it. It was like, this is alright. It's not, like, the worst. But yeah, hibachi's fucking good. I was gonna go to a hibachi restaurant with my, my family on Saturday, and then I ended up not being able to go because I have to go to my brother's birthday party. So we're gonna go get clam chowder with my fam instead of going to hibachi with my other fam.
I am kind of sad because I really would. I really would love that. Yeah, Hibachi Chef Toad is great. I had an entire Pokemon team for a while that was themed around Itamae chefs. So I had like a bunch of Tatsugiri and then like a Hariyama as like the Itamae and then the Don Dozo on the team as well. It was punny. I thought it was silly. Oh yeah. Yeah, I personally have never heard that slur used at me directly, Gabriel, but yes, I did know about that. Again, that's another one of those ones from like the 70s and 80s that like it kind of died out. Like nobody uses it really anymore. The more common term is flaming. That's the one that really stuck around. It was a cool theme for a team. It was the most ineffective fucking Pokemon team of all time. It was so bad. Any dragon types could wipe them the fuck out. It was good for double battles and then good for nothing else. I liked the theme though. I don't really play for competitive though. I just kind of vibe. Oh god, I gotta draw the bear again. Gotta draw this blue ass head. Guys, I'm about to unleash so many furry adoptables on the world, you have no idea. So many. fuck comp, just make teams. Yeah, true. I have not had the best of luck with Pokemon recently, so I'm probably not going to get a Switch 2 and get the new Pokemon. I learned that unfortunately Pokemon probably ripped off another game for one of the starters, and it's kind of getting to the point where unfortunately Nintendo, especially on the Pokemon front, is becoming very Disney-like, and I'm not a huge fan of their new policies. But it's particularly in regards to their Pokemon titles for whatever reason, and nothing else. I'm not really sure what they're doing, but I need them to chill out and not do that. But I also learned that they're owned partially. They have like 10% of their shares are in BlackRock as well. So it's like it's another one of those instances where I unfortunately feel like I flew too close to the sun and realized that BlackRock really is the fucking issue. And they destroy every fucking company that they touch because they're greedy pieces of shit. So when they become more profit-driven over art-driven, then that's when that becomes the problem. They also fired Miyamoto as well. Like, and that was, I recognized several years ago, but like, I do think that was like the beginning of the end for Pokemon. It was like, why get rid of the guy that actually, like, invented the game format? Like, that's such a weird thing to do. So, Tamagotchi Life, or like, I assume that like Switch 1 titles will likely be the last titles that I buy from Nintendo, so I'm imagining that Tamagotchi Life will be my last like big purchase from them until they can figure their shit out. I would appreciate it if they like didn't throw their creators under the bus. That'd be very cool. Or do weird shit like just blatantly steal other people's IP, and then they're too big of an entity to sue. So indie developers, it's a very similar thing to like what happens to Disney, where people will pitch shit to them like Moana, for example, and then Disney will just rip the idea, and then you can't. They're so big you can't really sue them, so you're just kind of stuck in like hell.
I'm surprised that Nintendo got denied their like fighting Pokemon suit. I really thought that they were gonna just succeed with that, but that is not how that went down.
Hi, Belk. I don't know what your username is. All I can see is the weird @ symbol. So sorry if I mess anything up. Multi chat on my end is not friendly to me, but welcome in. Yes, links are definitely allowed. Yeah, so far nobody's stuck anything freaky in here, so I just kind of keep them on. I say yet. No, nothing freaky yet. Oh, this is fun, though. I love the design. Yeah, I would recommend, Pizza Lover, putting the whole word, this into one word, so that way it's not mistaken for anything, because that word by itself is questionable. But I do like, in terms of the design, I love the jacket. I love the Chicken of the Woods hat, the hair, the color palette is very, very fun. It's so cool. I just like food-themed stuff. It is delightful. Anytime anybody busts out a Chef OC, I'm like, oh, I'm in. I'm there for it. Okay, now let me figure out. I need to... This is actually an impact. Oh my god, you said Cannibal Bard, now I'm scared. Danger! Just kidding. I'm here for a good cannibal as well. Oh, that's a bad tangent. You ever just, like, look at this and then make a... I've made a mistake. I actually have not seen Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, believe it or not. I'm trying to go through and pick up as many animated films as I can that I haven't seen, but that is one of those on my list that I have not yet watched. I do like the art style a lot, though, and the like jokes that I have seen from it are very fun. Because was that DreamWorks as well? Whoops. Who animated this? Oh, it's Sony. Sony. Yeah, no, it's good. They're very, yeah. I like it. See, and the main character for Cloudy with it, or like the main love interest, the girl, Sam, she is significantly less scary looking than Roxanne Ritchie. That's a perfect example of like, good character design where you have characters with like a weird shaped face or a weird shaped head and she's not horrifying looking. Yeah, I've heard it's really funny. I've heard that the film is funny. But you're right, that is the most food film of all films. Whatever you sent over, Chips, it's like trying to open a Discord channel. I don't think you linked an image. It's linked to a channel. But yeah, for those of you who are new, welcome on in. My name's Tycho. I'm an illustrator, an animation professor, and I make comics, write books. Oh, Stream Elements hated you. It was like there's too many. But that is an image though. It was like, bro, there's so many characters. It's because there were too many equal signs. Does that make sense? In the link, I have it set to do that because I've had bots come in here where they'll just spam characters and just make messages that are like all A's, for example. But that is fun, and this actually reminds me too of I have like a chef guy. His name is oh my god, what is his stupid? Oh yeah, Jonas. Jonas is the guy, but he is a like he was a wok wielding Leonid cleric. Or no, a paladin. and his like paladin rules were like really fucking weird, and so he couldn't initiate any kind of harm. Um, and then like he had to just wait until somebody hit him in combat before he could hit other people, and it was a disaster. He didn't want to be there. He just wanted to open a soup kitchen. That was his whole fucking goal. He was like, bro, I don't. Just crazy. So I love this. I like the outfit. I love the like dual blades. Love the little beard. This little beard swoop. Fucking fantastic. Love it. I mean, I've seen like one episode of Craig of the Creek, but I thought that was pretty funny too. That one was another one that was like relatively good. I just haven't seen a lot of it. This actually gets to go up here, and then this gets to go like this, actually. Okay, this is another one of those ones where it's like a silhouette shot, because I'm lazy. This is fine. Everybody hydrate. Salt and pepper scimitars with the shakers in the hand. Oh my god. I love it, though. That's the kind of silly shit that I'm here for. Also, I wish I knew more about, like, Mario lore, but I do not. I like how his name is it Gyro, like gyroscope, or is his name Euro, like, or Euros, like, the Greek sandwich? Because both are good. I just have to ask. I had the best gyros of my life in, oh, like the sandwich. That's funny, though. I had this little old lady on Eos in Greece, and she was like, you have to go eat this gyros. And I was like, okay, I will do that. And it was indeed the best fucking sandwich I've ever had in my life. That stupid restaurant was, like, really good. Unnecessarily delicious. Holy moly. It had fries in it. I don't know, man. It was... Oh, that thing hit. They had good cheesy fries, too. Okay, we're gonna just kind of... Okay, I acknowledge that there's a lot going on here. But absolutely nothing happening. This will be a really cool silhouette panel, I promise. I know what I'm doing, I think. I think? This guy's flying directly into hell. That's where he's going. I think he's just got regular pants on. I don't really remember. Doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, like, all of these things are going to be crossing. It's not going to matter. Oh my god, there's this place across from me that does Euro sandwiches. Well, it's shawarma mostly, but like it's like the shawarma meat is like so good that I would sacrifice everything for this place. They also have a Zatar pizza, and I kind of want to go try it. Alright, this is another one of those ones where he's going to have... It's a pretty... And actually, this is going to end up getting overtaken. Because we have another kick shot. But actually, this is not going to go that far down. I'm okay. I can go like this. And then... This guy has his shoe. I know what I'm doing. Shoe. I do not feel bad about being a lazy son of a bitch when it comes to this panel, because you know what? I am but one guy producing so much comic. I gotta take my wins where I can. By God. Yeah, this is fine. I'm so glad that I have these models and I don't have to fucking suffer. I think about that a lot. I'm like, you know, I could have suffered. Yeah, mostly I'm mad about going to Greece because I will never be able to untaste that good ass sandwich, and then now it's gonna haunt me in my dreams forever. Like it's gonna be the middle of the night, and I'm gonna be like, man, I remember that fucking sandwich. That was that damn wrap was so good. God, now I want hibachi really bad though. Actually, pizza lover, you cursed us. I have fried rice in the fridge though. I can just eat that. Okay, there we go. This will work. I feel the fried rice curse. Okay, that'll work. So now we gotta go like this, and we're gonna go like this. I've only got about... Somehow we only have like 20 minutes of stream left. I don't know how this happened. I guess these panels are more complicated than I would like to admit. True, I just get fucking hungry. Yeah, it's accurate. Why can I not? Who am I? That'll work. Alright, so now we're gonna go like this. And this goes above this. We're gonna go like this. We're gonna select around. We're gonna get all these inside bits so that way we can see the silhouette. And then we're gonna go like this. And then we're gonna go like this. Paint bucket the shit out of it. Look at that. He's like, everybody, help. Help. We curse each other with the hunger. It's true. Okay, now I don't need this open anymore. I can close this reference. Let me see what we got going on the next page here. Oh, and then I have to do a kick up tomorrow. Why? Who the hell was Dizzle? Which one was Dizzle? Oh, Dizzle's the hyena. I don't know what I'm doing. Clearly, I need some kind of num-nums. Everybody stretch! You guys gotta give me the strength to get through this final set of script writing assignments. The hunger. Terrifying. Hello, Photoshop? Can we not do whatever that is that you did? Oh, cool. I love that. Okay, hold on. Let me close up some of these pages here, because if I can do that, maybe it'll stop being a hoe, and it'll actually, like... You good? Oh! No. Okay, guess who gets to quit Photoshop and then open it back? Oh, wait! Okay, never mind. It figured it out! The hunger TM. Yeah, I think fried rice is gonna be what saves me. I'm like, maybe I can just play like Overwatch or something. While I grade, and then I don't have to be so sad about it. I don't know. It would be nice. Wouldn't it be nice? And then I have my other job to do as well today. What I wanted to do, this is a little bit chunky. What I wanted to do was apply for more jobs in Canada, but I don't think that that's going to happen. My new strat is to try and just fucking get in on the adoptables and try and make enough supplemental income that I don't have to go look for another job. That would be truly a Christmas miracle. That would be pretty sick. God, this angle's pretty rough. Oof. That's all I gotta say is just oof. Oh, but that also is like ass. We're fine. The anatomy was really fucked up for a second there. We're okay. We're alright. Everything is okay. I've been attempting to not be depresso espresso and actually eat food, and now all of a sudden I'm like, am I experiencing hunger, me, in the middle of the day? What is that? Because I used to, like, not really feel hungry for, like, hours at a time. Partially because of anxiety, and partially because of the HD. So the fact that I'm sitting here and I'm like, I could go for a little snacky snack, that's crazy. I might go get a banana. Bananas are chill. But I could just eat fried rice as well. I might do that. I don't know. If I think really hard about it, I don't have to deal with these students. I just can't believe I dragged those 4 kids from literally failing the class to, like, B's. I'm just angry because I know that I deserve more money an hour than what I'm getting paid for these classes. But alas. It is not the way. Hooray. You know that moment when you're this panel is just captioned, I've fallen and I can't get up. Also, I don't know what the fuck is going on with his chest here. Holy shit. Sometimes I worry about Daz. This is why we have to know our anatomy and shit, guys, because while Daz is cool, sometimes I worry about it. I have concerns. The deformities are too powerful. It's very rare that somebody jumps Wukong and knocks him on his ass. This little man just ran too fast, I think. This very short guy. Yep. Yeah, well, that's what's, like, great about this method is that it's, like, you can use it to speed up a lot of time, but at the end of the day, it's, like, as long as you know your shit, or, like, as long as you know your character, too, like, you can fix a lot of the weird errors. Like, I do feel bad for, like, if this was, you know, if I was rendering all of this in 3D, it's, like, I'd have to go in and tweak the deformers and shit to get it to not do that, and, like, that sounds like so much fucking work. Like, way too much effort. So much fucking unnecessary tomfoolery there. But this is why I don't do 3D animation, you know what I'm saying? Like, storyboard, yes. Concept art, yes. As soon as I have to animate something, I'm okay. I watched, like, a compilation of all of this one animator's errors for Digital Circus, and he was like, I hate this program. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Like, why? Mostly, I think what makes 2D more satisfying to me, I think, is the fact that, like, if you are, like, suffering in 2D and you see something, you see an error, right? You can fix that error. You can just erase the thing and then just go in and fix it. But with 3D, you're fighting the software. And if there's a weird error, you are low-key fucked. Until you can figure out why the program itself is, like, deforming your shit weird, or, like, the rig is broken, or any of those things, like... And once you fix it, it's, like, typically fine, but, like... And then also, too, you have, like, an interesting challenge, like... I learned that the 2D segment of, I think it was Intermission for Digital Circus, was actually not 2D at all. And it was like the guy animated Kane in a 2D plane. There was like or the 2D section of episode 8, I think. But they were all 3D models. And so the dude had to create a rig of like hundreds of tiny lines. So that way you could get the illusion of deforming a line. And that shit is nuts. That is fucking insane. Insane. Like, at that point, I'd be like, just draw the thing? So I understand, but like, if I find that video again, I'll have to show you guys, because it was the most insane shit I've ever seen. This guy was like, I have a problem. I'm a 2D animator, and I was asked to animate, or I'm a 3D animator, and I was asked to animate a 2D sequence. And it's like, oh my god, like, why would they do that to you? Yeah, as somebody who worked very briefly in Maya for a couple of years at school, I realized very quickly, I'm like, this is not for me. This ain't it. I understand that I am not an animator, and that's, or a 3D animator specifically, and that's okay. That's alright. I don't mind. I can live with that for the rest of my life. I can deal. You know that moment when you just get taken the fuck out? I'm not gonna draw that foot back there. Where you can't make me. God, there's so much fanning fabric happening right now. Why? I did this to myself. I was like, let's put him in a tunic. This is where this guy accidentally gets kicked in the fucking nuts, though. I mean, yeah, do it. Right? Like, I'm not even telling you. Like, that's effectively all of modern romance. Is following those tropes. Like, if you started to write that kind of shit and then queried it around, I guarantee you that you would get a book deal. I'm not even exaggerating. Especially because a lot of agents right now are looking explicitly for LGBTQ plus authors because we're, quote, trendy. So there's that. But, like, especially if you intentionally make it tropey enough to be considered, like, a, quote, Hallmark book, right? That's exactly what the market is looking for. And even if you don't get an agent, you could self-publish the shit out of that and make so much money.
Like I do appreciate respect romance writers and the romance community, but 99% of the market is how tropey can you make your book in order to make it sell, while just being unique enough that it is kind of its own thing, you know? So I'm telling you, fucking do it. Do it. You'll make the munties. People will love it, especially if you market that shit on TikTok. That is how you win. Well, even having some tropes, but like, cause like if you market it as Hallmark but gay, right, that you're gonna have some tropes. Like I think about like the big ones are like exec moves from city to country to meet up with old family friend or something. Like already that's like 3 romance tropes, you know. And so like even if you're just doing that and you have more of like a branching out or twists, that's still tropey enough, you know. Like you definitely don't have to make it Hallmark level B plot bad, but like just including those tropes like meet cute, for example, where it's like, oh, they see each other in the store and she's, you know, like immediately head over heels, or in this case he's immediately head over heels, right? Like that in itself, the meet cute itself is enough. Because romance readers are looking for something that's familiar, like they know how the thing is going to go, but they also don't want to know how the thing is going to go. They want to have like unique enough situational circumstance that it makes it unique. And unfortunately, in the romance community right now, just having gay main characters is that. Like, just having 2 men is often enough to be like, oh, this is not tropey because I've never seen 2 dudes do this. Crazy. But yeah, the tropes are literally like the fuel of the romance world, I think. It's unfortunately why I'm really, really, really bad at writing it. Because I avoid a lot of tropes in my work. Or I'll like do things that are very like, I guess like expansive of plot. Yeah, no, you'd yeah, that is it's tropey, but you'd make it. Like I'm serious. Like and when I say tropey in this instance, that's actually a benefit. For romance, the I don't want to say the tropier the better, but as long as you have 1 or 2 solid trope pillars that you're working with, you're golden. It would sell super well. Okay, I keep forgetting how to draw this bear hat from the side. This is my fault. For having a bear hat. And needing actual good anatomy for the bear hat. Thankfully, I watched The Jungle Book recently, so I'm okay. Yeah, people would eat the shit out of that. I'm pretty sure, like, you could approach an agent with that and you'd probably get it. And you should, because that would be fucking sweet. Yeah, all you need is for it to follow, like, the relative beats of the romance plot, and then, like, have a happily ever after. You're pretty much good. It's part of the reason why I don't really publish romance forward books, because I just don't find them, like, engaging enough, or speculative enough, I should say. The whack. I think this guy is pissed. He saw Sean and was like, I was gonna eat you. And now your friend is standing between me and dinner. And I'm very upsetty about it. Cut. Whack. Yeah, do it. Do it. Yeah, I mean, if you ever need help with it, you know, like that's my specialty and my expertise as a project coordinator, you know, like a project manager, is helping people figure out what the steps are that need to be done in order to complete the thing, you know? And so in your case, it would be like a manuscript writing timeline, right? Like, what are the steps that I need to do? What deadlines do I need to meet to have the book published by X date? You know, I call that, at least on my website, like a publishing roadmap, you know? But half of it is creating kind of a schedule for yourself and creating those deadlines. So that way, you know, it's not like, this has been on the back burner for a while. I'll get to it eventually. It becomes, okay, well, actually, I have to meet the deadline by X date. And now I'm motivated to do it. So that way I don't fall behind. It's part of the reason why I think I continue to publish so much. His hands are very tiny. I respect it, though. After this, I'm going to have to go, unfortunately. But I think I'm kind of back on schedule, actually, all things considered. Yeah, if you play your cards right with a story like that, all of a sudden you get into Rainbow Crate, you know, which is like a monthly book subscription service for gay romance, specifically. LGBT romance in particular. You just got to get the right people to endorse it. I could probably hook you up with my friend Ian Haramaki, who wrote Mercy. It's an Angel X Priest, like, erotica novel. And while it may not be erotica, because it's an MLM, he did insanely well for his debut launch. Like, we're talking, he sold like 2,000 copies. He got into Rainbow Crate. He got a Rainbow Crate special edition. He got an audiobook deal with Tor. You know, so, and it was really lucky. Like, this is a very small, like, indie Colorado author, but he had the right endorsement from a guy named Rafa, who wrote this book, Angels Before Man, which is a gay Lucifer romance. And because Rafa was relatively famous, that got his book into the hands of the right people. So if you can get good endorsements from the right writers, you're in a good spot. It's definitely one of those things where it's like a sex sells situation. So, also, too, don't shy away from making it fucking horny, because that guaranteed... I've had more people approach my table, I would say, nowadays that are romance readers, where when I say that there is, like, fade to black sex scenes, they get disappointed and they walk away. So I'm trying to push myself as a demisexual more to write more smut effectively for adult readers, because that is also one of those things where they're really interested in that. Okay, I forgot what this guy fucking looked like as well. I don't know what you're wearing. What do you have on your body? Well, like, by smut, I also mean relative degrees of smut. So any kind of open door sex scene. So even if you're describing sex acts, and that doesn't have to necessarily be in an erotic way, but that is something to keep in mind where, while, yes, there are a good chunk of readers that are looking for, like, cozy romance is what that would be called, where it's very low stakes and there's not really a lot of sex in it, that is something to consider. And of course, do what's best for your story. This is just me speaking from, like, what I know the market is looking for and what I've seen as, like, a publishing professional. But that doesn't mean that one is right and the other one is not right. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that's where the market is at. And sex sells a shitload. But if you're looking for more of like a cozy meet cute, that also has potential. You just have to find the right audience for it. Because that was one of the reasons King of Dust was a turnoff for the monster fucker smut crowd, because it was, one, not sexy enough, and two, the bisexual ended up with a woman, which pissed a lot of gay men off specifically. So, also interesting things to keep in mind. But it also pissed off a lot of romance readers because, like, they didn't read the description for the book. So it became like, why are they just walking around? Like, they kissed once and then they're not really doing anything. And now, granted, King of Dust is not a romance novel first. But you have to be pretty descriptive and pretty clear with your, like, what I would call, like, spice level ratings for the romance community. Because if you're not clear, and they open your book and they're like, I want this guy to fuck Santa, like, into the bed, and then they don't get that, then they're going to get really angry. They're very brutal. The romance readers are, like, some of the most intense fucking people I've ever, like, seen in my life. So you just got to be really upfront. You know, put pepper ratings on your stuff. And then that way, too, you don't end up jump scaring somebody as well if you're writing in the opposite, where you're writing a lot of erotica and somebody opens it and was like, I wasn't expecting a full-blown, fully described penor. They're also not scared as well. See, and here's the thing, Cal. You're right. They do need to read the description. However, most of them don't. And another important thing to keep in mind is that the reading comprehension globally has dropped so significantly that unless, like I think about how, for example, this is a good example. I can show this. Unless you're really explicit with what's going on in your book, like the way that I describe my book to potential reviewers now is so much different than what I used to do. So for example, in this I have, this is the basic blurb, or this is like basic premise, the pitch. Is it a standalone? Can it be read by itself? What format is it in? This is the back copy on the back of the book. So this is the actual blurb. What content warnings are there? What representation is there? What romance level is there? And if you don't have this information, people will just like immediately like dip because they don't know what to expect from your work, which is really annoying because most people are not looking at genres or subgenres. They're like assuming a lot. So unfortunately, the reality is that they will not read the description, and you have to kind of go into it assuming that they just will not read the description. So being explicit, particularly for this demographic of readers, is really, really important. Other readers tend to not, I guess, like have the same level of issues. So like, for example, science fiction readers are going to be more picky, but they're actually going to read the description of the novel. For example, versus romance readers are effectively just blindly downloading stuff without reading the book info at all. In most cases, they're just like, oh, another romance, and then they just download it. So kind of crazy, but that's just like the nature of the market. Horror novels can be kind of like that too. Effectively, the more reliant on tropes the novels are, the less picky people are, and then that can result in readers being like, well, this isn't really horror, or this isn't really a thriller. Those kinds of things. And that's where that gets hard. These guys are touching each other. Yeah, like, especially in the case of, like, for you, Chips, if you are writing, like, furry romance, for example, being really explicit about the fact that it is furry romance is also going to be pretty huge as well, because, unfortunately, too, there's a massive stigma against the furry community in the romance world as well, where if they see that it's a furry novel, they'll just immediately throw it into the trash, which does suck. Like they're pretty they're just really fucking discriminatory. Why am I like this? I need to be super careful with what's going on here. Not that. And then I need to go erase this out of the dick. But it also depends on your goals too. Like, you know, like this is speaking explicitly from like a, do you want to get into the, you know, into the industry and publish that way, or are you going to be, you know, focusing specifically on a very niche set audience, right? And like they are going to be less particular about what you write, you know, and like those are two completely different like ways to tackle the same thing. How, you know, how market driven is your work? That's the way that I would phrase it. You know, you can be as market driven as you want. It's just going to achieve different results. This is probably going to be a situation in which I'm going to need a background here. Shifter romance is one of the most popular romance genres in the space. The only problem with it is that you have to be very explicit with your tropes in order to be successful in that space. So, for example, if you have a shifter romance, you need three major components, right? The first is going to be, it needs to be an Omega-verse romance. Your main character needs to be an Omega, and the romance likely, like the lead, likely needs to be an Alpha. Secondly, that Omega main character needs to be bullied, weak, ostracized for some reason. They need to be the reject of their group, and they need to be low-key sad about it. And the Alpha somehow fixes that problem for them, regardless of that solution. Thirdly, you need to have a level of, like, physical hierarchy going on. Regardless of how your shifters function inside that universe. So that's really the tricky bit, is that again, that's one of those genres where they're looking very explicitly for like that dynamic. And again, this is market fiction, right? So my advice to everybody always is write whatever the fuck you want, because I think the market is like low-key kind of bullshit. But as somebody who pitched a shifter romance to a major publishing company and got into acquisitions with that shifter romance, and what I was given as feedback for that shifter romance, that was what I was told, is effectively I was too genre bending, and because I was far out of the tropes, that would make it less likely for me to have success in the sphere. So if your goal is, again, what they call upmarket. Upmarket means that it is like, you know, that is what the market expects. It falls into all of the right tropes. It has the right format. It has the right character dynamics, those kinds of things. If your goal is to sell upmarket fiction, you have to really, like, lock in on that shit. But if your goal is not to sell upmarket fiction, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So this is a good example from like Wattpad's let me see. This is a good example of their verticals. Oh, the vertical page is gone. Damn. They took everything down because of I can get some information from it. Yes. Yeah, this is the trending trope. Successful werewolf romances or shifter romances often feature a shy, low-level protagonist paired with a dominant, rich alpha. Romance is essential, but the story must have a well-developed plot rather than relying solely on romance. So those are going to be the big things. There was a third one. Oh, and fated mates. That's the third one that I'm looking for. You have to have a fated mates trope. That's the big third. I was like, what? There's one more that I keep fucking missing, and that was the reason I think that my story failed, because I fucking hate fated mates with the core of my being. I think it's just the fucking worst trope on the planet. And some people pull it off really, really well, so I'm not saying that it can't be done, obviously, but that's just something that I find personally really annoying. Is it's like these people are together simply because the plot says that they have to be together, which is, at least to me, hella annoying. So that being said, that's another thing that if you're writing shifter fiction, having some reason that the characters are forced together, like even another good example of this is actually Twilight. Twilight is in its essence a fated mate romance to some degree, because Bella's the special one. She's the one that is like, she's the one who is destined to be with Edward Cullen. You know, Jacob didn't imprint on her, he imprinted on her baby. You know, like there's so much. It's driven largely by Twilight and the tropes that Twilight created. And that's where this genre can get particularly toxic. So, point being, yeah, it entirely depends on what is your goal with it. Is the goal market fiction? If so, tweak your tropes in order to fit the market. If the goal is not market fiction, write whatever the hell you want, and then you have to work really hard to find your audience for it, because guaranteed somebody out there is going to want to read it. It's just a matter of making sure that they you can find that audience. But yeah, I would say a good 75% or more of werewolf fiction that is out on the market right now is fated mates fiction. It's like the alpha smells the fucking omega and then instantly gets a boner kind of fiction. But that's what that audience is looking for, you know? And like it becomes like you can't really yuck somebody's yum situation. But they get legitimately upset if there's like something different about that. And surprisingly, the romance genre readers are typically women over the age of 45. So it's actually not even like young people changing the market. It's older women who were reading Twilight that never left their Twilight phase, and then now they're just thirsty, hungry for more Twilight-like novels. And so then they keep reading the same thing over and over. But that's pretty typical for like the romance genre as a whole, which is why you see authors become very successful doing things like you write one Amish romance and then you write a million of them using the same formula, that Hallmark formula, because if your readers liked one of them, they will continue to like the rest of them, you know? So kind of an interesting, I don't know. It's why I'm not particularly interested in that genre. Because there's a lot of limitations on it. It can be really difficult to navigate. But write what makes you happy. You will find an audience for it. Like I think about Tess having success with her book Spider Island. She was told that it was too genre bendy. It's a fantasy, it's a tech thriller, and that those two genres in the market, the traditional market, don't go together. But that book did very well. She's already funded on BackerKit before the campaign has even launched, right? So there is an audience out there for it, and you just got to find the right people. Or like I think about how One Pale Reflection, I got that rejected a bunch of times, but my book beat a Disney title, you know. So just write what you fucking want. That's it. That's my sagely old man advice at the end of the day. People are lame, and they will tell you that your book doesn't fucking quote fit expectations or something. But it's like, what if I don't want to write that though? You can't make me. I have a feeling that my book is going to end up in rejection hell. But sometimes that's the way that it goes. But I'm gonna go actually. Oh, did I get insta rejected with this lady, or has she not gotten to me yet? Not yet. We'll see. We're gonna find out. Probably I will. Ron is still hella behind. I'm pretty sure he just ignores everybody. I'm gonna go look at my query list. Oh yeah, no, I don't have any faith in the traditional publishing industry at this moment. I am more like I submitted to like 60 different agents for Fatal Mechanisms, 0 acceptances. Or well, I guess I got one full manuscript request and then the lady ghosted me and then she rejected it in the end anyway after like fucking 6 months of me waiting to hear back from her. So as of right now, the market is just that's the way that it goes. Like you're more likely, like there is a 4% chance that you're going to get accepted by an agent, and then they still have to shop it to publishers. So like the odds of getting traditionally published are something like 0.00005%. Like it's insanely low. So knowing that, it's like at this point, it is better to just take your work into your own hands and just do it yourself. You might not be making thousands of sales, but you might get lucky. You never know. And it could be one of those things. You just have to kind of keep your fingers crossed and hope, hope for the best. Where is mine? Oh, way the hell down there. This lady closed queries right after I submitted. So I'm going to go look at this. I'm going to see where people are in the queue with this. I'm also going to go eat. So thanks for hanging out while I finished this page. And then I'll be back tomorrow coloring this and then starting on, unfortunately, on the planning for the next page as well. So I will hopefully see you all in the morning. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And my social media hiatus will officially end tomorrow. So I'll be back to my regular scheduled program stuff here soon. So I will talk to you then, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.